All right, guys, welcome back to Women Empowerment Wednesday. So, today's guest is somebody I hold very near and dear to my heart. It is my best friend, Diamyn. She is a beautiful wife, a wonderful mother, and just a beautiful person to be around and to know overall. So, I invited her on the show. So, I'm so happy that she was able to attend. So, Diamyn, can you share just a little bit about who you are and what's the current season of life looking like for you?
Yes, so as Victoria said, I'm Diamyn. I am a wife and a mother, but I am also an entrepreneur. So I own Diamond's Crystal Bar, where we help people heal with crystals. And I have my own consulting business. It's called The Growth Girl, and it's all about helping other women entrepreneurs and girls grow in their business and figuring out what that looks like for them. For me, I'm in a season of transition, I'd say, from like that first stage or first year of motherhood on
Mhm.
to like what life looks like for me now. It's really been figuring out like what do I want to do next? Like what
Mhm.
creative endeavors am I going to get into while also still juggling being a full-time stay-at-home mom. So, definitely a season of transition, but I think that just equips me to help other women who are going through seasons of transition too.
Yeah, so I love that Diamond said a lot. Like I said, she's fabulous and she does a lot, but she has always been someone to lead with authenticity. And so I feel like ever since we were kids, she would just have this characteristic about herself. So, what does living in your truth mean for you right now with like everything that you're juggling?
I think for me, excuse me, living in my truth is really just speaking my mind,
Okay.
not feeling the judgment of the world in how I'm experiencing the world, but just living my life and being me. Um, as long as I've known myself forever. I feel like I feel like I've always
Seriously.
been um kind of like very strong, very bold,
Mhm.
very no nonsense. Uh,
Yes.
so I feel like I still carry that energy with me wherever I
Okay.
go. Like I'm very true to myself in that I have to speak up. I have to be, truthful with people. I have to
Mhm.
lead with that level of integrity. And I feel it even more now that I'm a mom. Before
Right.
I was just doing it for me, but now I'm doing it for my daughter. And I
Little
think I
baby.
really want her to see what it looks like for a woman to just be herself and not care what the world thinks. So that's honestly how I feel about that.
I love it. So, how do you feel like being a mom has like influenced your spiritual and your personal growth?
I feel like motherhood is ministry.
Mhm.
I've really had to sit myself down and look at like different qualities that I think I've always had to work on. A huge one being patience.
Okay.
I feel like motherhood, like with also dealing with myself, my own insecurities and doubts, and then spirituality, which has always been a huge focal point for me, a huge part of
Mhm.
my life of understanding the importance of centering yourself, sitting with yourself, being honest with yourself. I think sometimes people overthink spirituality when it's
Mhm.
really that like relationship that you have with yourself and the creator in whatever way that you view the creator. So I think spirituality is a hugely important thing, but
Mhm.
I think with motherhood it's awakened that sense of like I'm always in a spiritual relationship with myself, with
Mhm.
God, with my daughter,
Yeah.
because I mean, what woman isn't in a spiritual relationship? You made a human and you delivered them into the world. That's It can't get much more spiritual than that.
It really can't. And when you think about it, it's like you gave birth to life, like you lifed another being. You gave birth to another being. Like
Yeah.
you putting air in their lungs, literally. Like it's just crazy. Like you said,
It's
there's no
crazy.
greater like connection than that. Like that's it.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the closest I've ever felt to God was when I
Hmm.
gave birth to her because I was like, "Oh, God, we
This
on the
is
same
real.
level."
This is real.
This is real.
It's crazy. So, how do you feel like your spirituality has helped guide your decisions as a woman, as a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur?
I think I listen to my intuition
Hmm.
so much. I am incredibly intuitive. Like, if my
You got to
spirit
be.
says no, the answer is no, and I'm not proceeding. And I don't care if nobody understands why. I
Hmm.
don't care if, even sometimes, I think being young and kind of using, or not always having the level of discernment I have had now, I've had to
Hmm.
learn the difference between how do I really like listen to what's going on, or am I just being anxious about something? So
Right.
I've really had to be able to determine discernment from anxiety, and how do I use my discernment to help lead my intuition, to trust my intuition even when the answers aren't right in front of me. And I think in
Right.
motherhood, you are like, you feel things about your child before they even happen for them. So like, that is spiritual in the sense where you are divinely connected to this being, and
Hmm.
you can sense things about them. So I think for myself, it's knowing that I'm the only person that is this connected to me. There's not
Hmm.
another person that will be this connected to me than I am.
Hmm.
So I have to lead with that. I have to trust that even when it doesn't make sense.
Okay. And so I want to just go back a little bit on something that you said, because I think it's extremely important, because I'm learning like my discernment as well, as far as like my intuition. And so you said that you had just had to learn growing up, like what's the difference between being anxious and then being discerning. So could you give tips, maybe like a couple tips to the viewers who you'll be able to help, because including myself, because I want to know for myself, but a couple things that we can like know the difference between the two, because I think it's important.
Yeah, so for me, anxiety immediately makes me like, it's like your brain is kind of like teetering between two things with
Okay.
anxiety. With intuition, it is like a sure thing without any explanation.
Okay.
So the only thing, a good example that I can share is, before I got pregnant, I
Mhm.
was running a business, and I had been running a storefront for 5 years. I have now officially been in business for over 10 years. But when I was running that storefront, I had this intuitive feeling that I needed to close the store.
Okay.
And at first, that could have been taken as like, that's anxiety. Maybe you're unsure of yourself. Come to find out, me being pregnant, all of that was important because I had to close the store. It's really
Mhm.
hard to own a or run a storefront when you're pregnant. But had I
Very.
just counted that off as anxiety, I probably would have looped myself into something that maybe would have been much harder for me to deal with.
Navigate. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
So when you're thinking about discernment or intuition versus anxiety, um, intuition is sureness, it's confidence. It's not going to be rooted in fear. I
Okay.
think sometimes what's rooted in fear is we think too far ahead on how we think something's going to work out, and we don't actually know that. So we make choices and decisions on something we have no clue how it's going to work out.
Right.
Intuition, like, whispers. Anxiety is loud. Anxiety
Okay.
is like, like just like that. I don't know, like that
Constant
devil on
noise.
your shoulder that's like, oh, you can't do this, or that's a bad idea. But intuition is like, I don't know why I'm making this choice, but I know it's the right choice, and I
And
have
it's
to
a calm
proceed.
and peaceful. Okay.
Calm and peaceful. So if I could
Okay.
say anything, I'd say intuition whispers and anxiety is really loud. It's a lot of noise. I'd say anxiety creates unrest and you
Okay.
feel off center, whereas intuition, even though you may not know why, you feel grounded in your choice and decision.
Okay.
The last thing I'd say is look for the signs. Like for me, I always see angel numbers when I know I'm supposed to make a decision.
Hmm.
Not everybody believes in angel numbers, so I'm not saying that you need to don't make the choice unless you see 111. Like, no, that's,
Right.
that's not what we're saying. But I think for me, angel numbers help validate when I'm feeling
Yep.
something, um, and I need that like boost of confidence to know that like yes, this is the right choice. So
Yes.
sometimes look for the signs. Like there's times where I'm doubting myself or I feel unsure of something and I hear a song that reminds me of somebody and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like it's
I'm
just
gonna
like
be
those little
okay.
signs. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And heavy on the angel numbers because I feel like in my spiritual journey that I'm going through, like it's like levels to it. And angel numbers,
Yeah.
I feel like is definitely a part of it. So thank you for those takeaways because, like I said, knowing discernment and then being ancients, I think is extremely important. And I think all of us really suffer for that. So thank you for those tips.
Of course.
So what are some like daily practices that you may do to help you stay grounded and connected, to yourself?
Yeah, for me, I'm big on journaling. I
Okay.
feel like having a strong internal conversation with yourself um, is really what helps me navigate and make choices and decisions and think through things.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of hard now being in this 11-month-old stage of life with the baby.
Hmm.
Because I used to do a lot of meditation. I'd
Okay.
be in my Zen room, listen, had my incense going and
Hmm.
meditating. But now I've really had to adapt like or active meditation, meaning
Okay.
if I'm doing something, I'm just doing that thing. So
Hmm.
a lot of the times when I'm playing with my daughter, I'm not on my phone. I'm not doing anything else but being with her. And I think you have to find ways, the best that you can, to put in practices that allow you to just be present. Um, I feel like over the last 5 to 10 years, we've had a huge like surge of what some people might even deem as like this woo woo nature of life. And like you need to meditate, you need your oracle cards, and you need all this stuff. And
Hmm.
you just really need yourself. You need yourself, and you need to go into that quiet space within your brain, even when it's loud around you. You
Hmm.
need to be able to sit with that person. And sometimes that person does not want to sit with you. Like, that's why a lot of the times when we meditate, we fall asleep
Hmm.
because our brains can't believe that we have taken a moment for ourselves. So your brain is like, oh, wrap it up. We're going to take a
Yep,
nap.
I'm going to take a nap. And it's
And
funny because that has happened to me so many times where I wake myself up snoring because I didn't went to sleep because I didn't turned off again, like you said, everything around you and just be present.
yeah. So for me, it's the presence and less of this like, I need to do all these things and more just
Hmm.
like I just need to be. Like just
Yeah,
be. If that's
and
all you
that's
did all
hard.
day was
And I feel
and
like it's
that
hard,
is so
especially
hard.
nowadays, because we get like the phone, we get notifications. Just it's always something going on. So just to
Yeah.
take a moment to just breathe. Um, like you said, it works wonders, but you actually have to do it.
Yeah, and I always tell people do it, just practice by doing it when you get out of the car. Like before I get out of the car, even if I have my daughter in the back, I'll just go, okay, let's go.
Yep.
Like just a
Let's do
deep
it.
breath.
And that's true because I've witnessed Diamond do that before. So she actually does do that. She takes a deep breath and then she moves on to the next task. So for you, let's talk manifestation. What does manifesting intentionally look like on your day-to-day life?
So I am a huge believer in visualization. So when I manifest something, um, I don't even think about manifesting in the sense of the word. I think of visualizing what I want to happen, seeing
Okay.
it in my mind's eye, in my brain, so that I can execute on it. So
Okay.
a huge thing is just visualizing. So when I opened my storefront, I visualized everything down to like the how the walls would look, how the crystals would be
Okay.
displayed. Like I like visualize everything. Um, a lot of people don't realize this, but like athletes, people who are in positions of power, people who are trying to achieve things, they use visualization like in a huge way because it helps
Mm-hmm.
you tell your brain what's
Yep.
going to happen which will allow your brain to create that scenario for you, because your brain does not know the difference between you thinking of something and it being real, which is why you can
Mm-hmm.
think yourself into an anxiety attack. So it is just
Whew.
a reminder that if you really think of something, you can manifest it in your life. I will say
Yep.
this, it doesn't work in a way that's negative. You can't think of cancer every day and you're going to get cancer. That's not how this
Right.
works. This is because some of us with medical OCD or anxiety don't want to. But you can literally visualize a desired outcome. Um,
Yeah.
I always beat my husband in bowling. I'm a great bowler. And he's always
Okay.
like, how do you always like, how are you scoring so well? It's because before I throw that ball, I've literally visualized every
Visualize.
pin falling over.
And see, it's something as small as that, y'all. As
Exactly.
small as bowling. Just think about how you can change and shift your life just by thinking positively.
Yeah, a thousand
It's
percent.
huge. So, what are like some common misconceptions about manifestation that you've learned to redefine through your experience?
I think so. Selling crystals, um,
Okay.
I feel like people, I'm going to be very honest, people have gone all the way from, oh, this is like some snake oil salesman type stuff, all the way to, oh my God, I really believe in this and I
Mhm.
understand this. Um, with manifestation, you really have to know that this is about energy.
Yep.
I think oftentimes, even like over the years, we've seen the word manifestation kind of, um, I don't know, it's almost become like like a glamorized version of saying create the life you want. So
Mhm.
when I hear manifestation, it's not how can I manifest this? It's more like how can I create the life I actually want to live and
Yep.
live it? It's not using magic or like using crystals to create the life that you want. It's
Right.
acknowledging the power within yourself and bringing that power along with you through tools. So, for example, crystals are amazing tools for manifestation and for
Okay.
creating the life you want because they hold physical energy. Crystals have been around for civilizations. When the ancient Greeks discovered crystals, they actually thought that they were frozen ice. Um, I know. Which is why that we have the Greek word for crystals is kristallos because it was derived from what they thought to be frozen ice.
Frozen
And when they
ice.
realized that it wasn't, they started using it in their own technologies, compasses. If you think about it, quartz is in like your TVs, your watches,
Yep.
most laptops. Like it's used to conduct energy, to send signals. It's a part of energy. So I think if you think of something as small as a piece of quartz, when you program an intention, meaning, and I don't mean like programming a remote, but like
Right.
thinking of it like when you get really serious, get really clear about what you want, you hold something that's correlated to the physical earth and energy that has coexisted with us for
Right.
centuries, for like eons of time, and you decide to get in connection with that, you can literally do whatever you want because not only does it activate the like waves in your brain to like visualize that thing, to create that thing, um,
Right.
but this energy has existed existed longer than you have. You're asking earth, nature, God to support you on this and to be there
Mhm.
with you, just like the crystal is there to help and support you because it's been through pressure, it's been through time, it's been through
Yep.
expansion, it's been
And it's
through
lasted.
heat, and it's lasted. Diamonds, for example, built under pressure, and boy, do I know that's the truth. But I think that you need pressure, you need time to
Hmm.
allow things to manifest, which is why manifestation is this kind of pop word. So I say all that to say, um, every day you can manifest the life that you want. It's in being intentional, it's
Okay.
in visualizing, and it's using the tools around you, whether that be meditation, crystals, mindfulness, to support that journey, journaling,
Mhm.
because all you're doing is telling your brain that what you want is real and you can get it.
And it's achievable. Yes.
It's achievable.
So, how do you align your thoughts and actions to attract what you want, but staying patient through the process? Because we all know like stuff takes time, depending on what it is that you're like trying to achieve. But how do you stay patient?
Yeah. I think it's in repetition. So
Okay.
when I started Diamond's Crystal Bar, I had no clue how I was going to get a store. And I would do pop-ups and people would say, "Oh, when are you going to have a store?" I'd say very like super soon, like
Hmm.
it's coming soon, it's coming soon. I had no clue. I mean, no clue how this was going to work or how it was going to happen. But I
Hmm.
kept believing in it. So I really say like repetition and using discipline.
Okay.
If you want something, you have to be disciplined enough to show up every day. Think of manifestation like a workout. You can't go to the gym one day and the next day you walk out with big biceps, skinny legs,
Yep.
snatched waist.
It
That's
takes
not going to
time.
happen. You have to go every day. You have to be consistent. And if you're not
Mhm.
consistent, you're never going to get the results that you want. But with manifestation, if you are disciplined, if you are consistent, one day you will do something and you'll realize how easy it is.
Yep.
Um, I worked out today and there was a workout move that was really, really hard. And in my head, I'm like, oh God, I can't do this one. And I did it. But it took time for that to manifest because I had to just keep showing up.
Okay, so what does living authentically look for you right now, especially again, juggling motherhood, business, and personal growth?
I think, very simply put, trying my best. That
Yeah, that's
that's
enough.
all
Like,
I
that's
have.
it.
That's it.
Okay.
In therapy, I've learned that honestly, some days you're going to have 100%, other days you're going to have 40%, some days you're
Mhm.
going to have 70%, but you have
Right.
to work with what you have. So I really think for me, and I would encourage every mother, person, entrepreneur, is to know that every day is not going to be 100%.
No.
And you have to make peace with that. And I think sometimes as high achievers, it's hard to acknowledge that you're not going to be 100% every day. But I
Yeah.
think that's 1,000% realistic.
Okay. And I love that because like oftentimes, including myself, sometimes you just don't have the bandwidth to do it. And you feel bad because it's like, why am I not giving 100%? But you also have to take care of like your mental health and yourself in
Yeah.
order to even do that. Um, so for you, how do you navigate moments of self-doubt or comparison while also staying rooted in who you are?
Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm
Let
going
it
to say
rip.
it. You have to believe without a shadow of a doubt
Hmm.
that there is not another soul on this earth like you. There's
And that's
nobody
true.
that
Nope.
exists that is just like you. And if you believe that, in my opinion, it is very hard to compare yourself to other people and to allow
Okay.
self doubt to creep in. Um,
Okay.
I think, if anything, the only self doubt I have is like, can I get out of bed today? Because I am so tired because my
Tired.
11-month-old woke up 5 times. Like, that's the
Yes.
only type of like self doubt I'm kind of currently dealing with.
Okay.
But a long time ago, I made a conscious choice to never compare myself to anybody else because nobody else is living my life, knows my
Nope.
story, understands my struggle quite the way I do.
Yep.
So I don't compare myself to, like, I don't. I
Anybody.
don't even think about it, like, because I'm on my own level. Like,
Yep.
everybody is on their own level. I'm not comparing myself to someone else because they're on their own level. And
Yep.
that
And
just
we're never
seems
supposed to
wasteful.
compare our chapter 15 to someone's chapter 40 because you don't know what it looked like. Like
You
you said,
don't.
nobody can walk in our shoes or else they would be. We can't walk in anybody else's shoes or else we would
No.
be. So I definitely love that.
And I think you have to be especially as an entrepreneur, a little bit
Mhm.
delusional in the sense of like, everything's going to work
Very,
out for me.
very
Everything's going to work.
delusional.
Like, because sometimes it's not going to work out, but you still have to believe the next opportunity is right around the corner.
Yep.
So if I could say anything, it's just like, be delusional, like about yourself,
A
about your
thousand percent
career,
delusional. It
like
sounds
be
crazy.
off the wall. Like, you don't know how it's going to work, but it's going to work. Like,
Yep.
just be crazy about it, because one, nobody else is you, but
Hmm.
two, you have to be that way in order to be successful. Like, I'm sure Kim Kardashian is like, nobody's gonna buy this, or I'm sure she's not like that. I'm sure she's like, everybody's gonna buy this because it's Kim Kardashian. But like,
Yep.
you should have that same vibe. Like, for me, I was like, everybody's gonna buy these crystals because I'm Diamond. Like,
Right.
I am the crystal.
Why wouldn't
What?
they? Yep.
Okay, like, come
But
on.
you have to be delusional, like you said, a thousand, a million percent delusional to the point where
Yeah.
you don't even see the plan of it happening. You just know it's gonna happen.
You know it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna work.
So for women who feel disconnected from themselves, what's one step that they can take to reconnect to their inner power?
I think when connecting to your inner power after feeling disconnection, you
Hmm.
have to be really intentional about taking care of yourself. I
Okay.
highly advocate for self care as a means to reconnect with yourself. I think
Yep.
it is so important to even just maintain a level of sanity. You
Mhm.
really have to go get your hair done, get your nails done,
Yep.
take a walk. Like,
Yep.
self-care looks different in every different part of your life. Like, if you can't afford to get your hair done, paint your nails. Like, do
Hmm.
something that's caring for yourself. A
Yep.
face mask, a hand mask, a foot. Like, there's so many things you can do to just like give back to yourself. And super simple positive affirmations. Like, every
Yes.
day pick 3 affirmations and repeat them to yourself, and every day keep those affirmations really close by because they're important, and they help you stay true to that.
Yes, and I love that. And that was actually going to be like my next question. Do you have any go-to affirmations that help you recenter?
I always say I'm more than enough. That's like one
Okay.
that I live on,
I love that.
because I think in a world where men are heavily in the center of things and we're
Mhm.
judged, and I know that I am more than enough and I'm worthy of whatever I'm asking for, if not more. So,
Right.
if anything, I always say I'm more than enough, I'm
Okay.
worthy, I belong in every room I enter.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. What's one lesson that in this new chapter of your life as a mom and a woman has taught you?
Hmm. I think a lesson that I've learned is to never judge anybody else ever.
Right.
I think in motherhood, you get a lot of like mom shaming, or you hear a lot about it. And I am opposite of that. Like, you
Hmm.
could tell me anything as a mom. And I'm like, if that's your truth, that's your truth. Like, I'm
Yep.
not, I'm not
Because
going to
everybody's
debate.
story is different.
Exactly. And everybody has different levels of support, of,
Hmm.
mental health resources,
Yep.
of a family, of job, career, different perceptions of success. So
Hmm.
I think it's really like not shaming anybody, just truly a non judgmental attitude and heart towards motherhood, towards
Yep.
womanhood, towards supporting, you know, your sisters out in the world, because I truly believe all women are connected in some way.
Yes. And I
Um,
love that.
yeah.
So, if you can leave every woman watching with one truth about manifestation or empowerment, what would it be?
That the power is within you, that
Okay.
um you control whatever it is you want. Like,
Yeah.
you have the power, you have the ability to create it, and never doubt the power of believing in yourself, because
Yeah.
that power has carried me so far. It has put me in rooms that I never knew I would ever be in, because
Hmm.
I believe in myself 1,000%. I've even had people that are like, "Oh, so you don't have a store anymore. You're a stay-at-home mom. Like, are you nervous about finding another job or doing something else?" And my
No.
answer is no, because I can do whatever I want. Like,
Yep.
I just have to think of it and do it. Like, it's
Yep.
that easy. But a lot of people don't always acknowledge that level of like self-respect and discipline. I respect myself enough to know what I'm capable of, and I
Hmm.
respect myself enough not to doubt anything that I think I can do. Like, I don't talk to myself like that.
Hmm.
So I would just encourage people, don't let negative thinking keep you someplace that you've outgrown.
Right. And so I love everything that you said. And just again, because I've known you over 20 years, everything that Diamond is saying, like she's lived by, like, and I've seen the growth by it, the boldness, the being intuitive, being intentional, because Diamond's super intentional. Like she's taken her life and everything that she challenges, obstacles, and she's been able to pivot in another direction. And again, through her businesses, be able to lead other women, individuals in the right direction as well. So she's walking in her truth and I absolutely love it. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for coming on here. So for anyone who wants to follow more or just be able to maybe reach out to you about motherhood, being a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, anything else that like that, how can they reach you?
Yes, you can visit my business page, Diamond's Crystal Bar.
Okay.
My name is spelled Diamond, Diamyn, S Crystal Bar. So follow me there. I'm happy to answer any of your crystal questions, self empowerment
Mhm.
questions, and then you can kind of see what I've built on my own page and what I've been able to do.
Okay. And do you have any events or anything special coming up?
Right now, no
No.
events. This
Okay.
event of life is doing me in. So
I
no
believe
events
it.
yet.
Okay.
But I am working on some things in the future, probably quarter 3 and 4. So yeah, I'm taking it day by day, but I will have some things, and they'll definitely be in your realm, Victoria. And I
Okay.
also want to give you your flowers. I've seen you
Oh,
grow. I've seen
thank
you
you.
succeed. I've seen you flourish, and I'm just so proud of where you are and who you
Oh,
are today. I'm in awe of you, and I look up to you, and I think that
oh,
you
I
are
look up to
just
you.
perfect.
Thank you. Thank you. So, again, thank you for coming on Women Empowerment Wednesday. I know that you have been able to help many, many women out there across all the channels, all the avenues. And again, follow Diamond. She doesn't only just talk the talk, but she walks what she preaches. So, I'm just so blessed to be able to know this beautiful soul. But as always, if you are interested in coming on the show, I'll drop my information below. Please reach out if you just want to talk about entrepreneurship, motherhood, girl talk, or you just have a story you want to get out there and you feel like it may help somebody. Please reach out to me. But other than that, thank you all for attending and happy Women Empowerment Wednesday.